I cannot believe that it's finally almost January 2021, and today I'm showing you guys our actual household budget for the month of January. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you our actual household budget for the month of January 2021, which is exciting. We even have some extra income coming in this month thanks to the stimulus bill that just got passed. To give you a little bit of context, we are a household of 3 and I live in Portland, Oregon with my husband Jacob and my 7-month-old son Peter. And before we get started, I want to let you guys know the budget template that I will be using today is actually one that you can get yourself on my shop. I will have a link to it down below. It's an instant download that you can use in Excel or Google Sheets or whatever spreadsheet platform that you prefer to use. And this is the budget template that I personally use each and every month, so you can check it out with the link down below. So without further ado, let's get into the budget. So the first section that we have here is our income, and I have my husband Jacob's income and my income individually blocked out, but I will tell you that for the month of January, we are actually planning to max out our HSA, our health savings account contributions. So we have a high deductible health plan paired with an HSA, which is a wonderful tax benefit, and basically you put money into this account tax-free. You can then invest those dollars and it could grow tax-free, and then you can take that money out tax-free to be used for qualified medical expenses. So there is a cap as to how much you can put into that, and we've just decided to max that out at the beginning of the year, and therefore my husband is going to take home very little for these first couple months because of the HSA max. So that being said, we don't have a lot of income coming from our day jobs, but my business income is here to supplement that. Also, I do work for an employer. I work a whole 5 hours a week in accounting, and besides that, I work for my business here on YouTube, and I also stay home with my son Peter. So we have Jacob's income and my income blocked out, and I do show you my business income. This month I plan to take home $7,000 from my business. I pay myself a salary out of my business every month, and so since I knew that my husband wasn't going to take home as much, I decided to give myself more this month to help supplement that. And then this other income line item that we have is $1,200, and that is from this stimulus bill round 2 that just got passed. I've heard that you also would get money for dependents, but they are using your tax return from 2019, I believe, which in 2019 we didn't have a baby, it was just the 2 of us, so we'll just get $600 each for this round. So that is why we'll be receiving $1,200. I feel like I've gotten back and forth on whether or not dependents get it, and at the time that I'm filming this video, it's like just getting past this bill, so I'm not exactly sure what that entails. So definitely look into it if you are curious about stimulus. There are tons of videos here on YouTube of people who do stimulus updates all the time, but for us personally, I'm anticipating $1,200. So our total income for the month is planning to be at $9,029.91. We use a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our expenses or our money out. So now to show you our plan for this income. First we have is our tithe. We are Christians and we believe in giving to our church and other organizations. So tithing and giving is always going to be first in our budget for us. And so we are tithing $902.99 to our local church, which is 10%. And then we also are giving $78 to Africa New Life. We sponsor 2 children in Rwanda through Africa New Life. And then we sponsor another missions organization at $40 each month. Next we have is our mortgage payment. This is going to be $2398.60 as per usual, and our mortgage payment is made up of principal, interest, PMI, insurance, and taxes, the whole thing. Next we have is our HOA. We do live in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, so it is what it is, but it's $121.46 each month. Next we have is water and sewer. That's around $93.85 each month. I think I just pulled that from what it was last month, but that does vary a little bit month over month. Then we have natural gas, and I assume that'll be around $70. This is what we use to heat our home with, and since we are in winter months, that will be a little bit higher. Then we have trash. Our trash is going to be $0 this month because we pay our trash every other month, and so January is a non-trash month. Then we have electric at about $50 I anticipate, and since our house is heated with natural gas, electric is going to be any sort of lights that we have on or anything that we have plugged in. Then we have internet at a standard $49.95 each month, and our phones, this is for my cell phone and my husband's phone, at $117.33. Then we have insurance for our cars at $128.58. We drive a 2013 Corolla and RAV4. Then we have life insurance. This is for myself and my husband. We each have a term life insurance policy, and that is a total of $52.89 each month. Then we have groceries at $350. We actually recently increased this from $300 to $350 because now our son is starting to eat solids, and so we want to allow ourselves a little bit more room in the grocery budget to make sure that all of that is taken care of. Then we have eating out at $100. We haven't gone to a restaurant since February, maybe the first week of March. So eating out just means takeout or fast food or whatever. So we budget $100 a month for that. I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to go to a restaurant in 2021. Let's hope for that. Next we have is gas at $40. And we really just fill up our cars like once, twice a month. Before the pandemic, we were at like $150, but more recently, now we do like $40 a month. My husband is still working from home. He will be working from home through at least June, and we'll see what happens after that. Next we have is our Costco membership. That is going to be renewed this month, and that'll be $120. And then we have miscellaneous at $100. You always need to have a miscellaneous category in your budget because there's always something random that will come up in the month, and it's nice to have a miscellaneous category to put it there. And then we have Peter at $50 a month. So I have a brokerage account set up for Peter, and basically we are putting $50 a month into that account that we can use to gift him later down the road. Like, I'd love to be able to use that to help him with purchasing his first car and help him with like a wedding or even like a down payment on a house. So we put $50 a month into that fund. Next we have is our Roth IRA, and this is exciting because now we turned a new year. We maxed out our Roth IRA for 2020 in the summer, but now we are planning to do like dollar cost averaging throughout 2021 to max out our Roth IRAs, which the limit for a Roth IRA in 2021 is $6,000, and since we each have a Roth IRA, that'll be $12,000 throughout the year. So that makes it an easy $1,000 a month to fully fund the Roth IRA. So I have that set up on auto draft. That'll just be taken out of our account each month, and $1,000 a month it is. Next we have is college. We have a 529 college savings plan for our son Peter that we put $200 a month into. Next we have is our extra mortgage line item. So a big goal that we have for ourselves this year is to pay down our mortgage balance so that we can get out of PMI or private mortgage insurance. And to do that, we need to have 20% equity in our home, and then we would just need to pay for an appraisal and PMI would come off of our loan. So the total amount in that is $1,391.26 that we plan to put extra to our mortgage. And this is basically where we plan to put every extra penny right now is to the extra mortgage. So now let's move into our savings section of the budget. And I love this part of the budget because I just love being able to save money. So moving into this here, first we have is our emergency fund, which is actually fully funded. I have it blocked out here because you haven't seen the end of December's budget report video yet. So stay tuned for that. But we do have a fully funded emergency fund of $25,000, which is about 6 months of necessary expenses for us. Next, we have Jacob's savings. Jacob gets $150 of personal spending money each month, and I get $75. I love having this amount down in the savings section because that way it can roll over month if we want, and we could save up for something bigger if we wanted to. Jacob gets more money than I do because he has more hobbies, and during the pandemic, he's really liked to do like woodworking projects in the garage, and so he asked for more money. And during the pandemic, I have barely spent my money because I used to spend it on like going out to lunch with friends and those sorts of things, which doesn't happen right now. So I reduced mine and increased Jacob's just for this season, and it's worked out fine. Next we have is extra giving, and we put $50 a month into an extra giving fund, and that way we can say yes to giving opportunities if they come up. And then we have a gifts fund, which we're starting this year and I'm excited about. So we plan to save $50 a month into a gifts fund, and we just have a lot of friends right now who are having babies or getting married, and it'll be nice to have all this money saved up to use for gifts for them whenever baby showers come up or things like that. So we noticed that we were just spending a lot of money on gifts and didn't really have a place for it. So now we have a dedicated place for it for 2021. Next we have is our vacation fund. We put $400 a month into the vacation fund. We do have a trip booked to go to Hawaii in May. I'm not so sure that that'll be happening. I think I'll have to call it maybe in like March. We'll see how things are, but we would love to take it as normal as possible. And so if things aren't like, don't feel super comfortable or normal, then we won't go. So we can delay that trip maybe to the fall. I'm hopeful that by the fall, things will be a little bit more normal. So we're just still saving for that though. So $400 a month. Next we have is Christmas. Even though Christmas is now 12 months away, it's a great time to start saving for Christmas, because if you save for it little by little, it won't feel like it's blown December's budget out of the water. So we save $100 a month into the Christmas fund, and then we'll have $1,200 set aside ready for Christmas for 2021. Next we have is medical, and this is a new fund that we're starting this month. We plan to save $100 in our medical fund. Like I said, we are maxing out our HSA, but our desire is that we would just keep that money in the HSA and wouldn't spend it on like routine medical visits, because you can use it as an additional investment vehicle, and you can use those funds up through retirement. So we will use them at some point, but if we can just pay for like random doctor's visits out of our regular budget, I would much prefer that. Obviously, if something like big catastrophic happens and it would like hit our max out of pocket or something like that for the year, then I totally don't mind getting into the HSA. But for little routine things, like I know I have to go to the dermatologist in March, like I would rather just pay for it with our budget and just let our HSA dollars save up. Next we have is car maintenance at $75 each month to cover any sort of car repair that may come up. And then we actually increased our house maintenance budget to $375 each month. We used to have it at $350, but I just increased it. Basically, we are taking 1% of our house value of what we want to save for the entire year into house maintenance. So I took 1% of our house value and divided it by 12, and that is $375 of how much we want to save. So it used to be $350, but our house has actually appreciated quite a bit over the last year, so I decided to increase that amount. Our house is newer, so we haven't had to have any like sort of big house repairs, but if it comes up, I want to have the money set aside and ready to be spent if we need to. Next we have is household, and this is things like soap or paper towels, toilet paper, those sorts of things, and we put $100 a month into that fund. And then finally we have our baby fund at $100, and this covers any sort of baby expense like diapers, clothing, toys, like anything that we may need for Peter besides food. That's just going to come out of our regular grocery budget, but any sort of baby supplies will come out of this. So as you can see, our total out here is $9,029.91, and I also have a zero balance check, so this is checking against the total income that we have. So we have a zero base budget. So we used our stimulus money here, our $1,200, just mainly went towards the extra mortgage payment, which is exciting, and that's like the big goal that we're working on for this year, because we really want to get out of PMI, which would be nice. So that is a look at our household budget for January 2021. Don't forget, if you want to check out my budget template, I will have a link to it in the description box down below, so you can check it out there. And also leave me a comment and let me know what is one financial goal that you are excited about working on in 2021. And I will look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.